Kent Middleton, are you with us?
I am indeed.
Well, we had a big build-up. Who are you? Where are you? How do you know Don? And what's your story?
I'm one of Don's creative students that was earlier referenced. And before I start, I want to make sure that I do take this moment to say my hair is fabulous and I have lost weight. So, and Rashad and Jeannie, you can back me up later. Back in the 70s, Procter & Gamble was one of the companies that would come to what was then the advertising program. And they were different because you couldn't sign up to actually be in their list. They gave the deal to list. So the buzz prior to that was quite huge. Am I going to be on the list? So-and-so would be saying that I was an intern at Saatchi on their business. Maybe I'll be on the list and blah, blah, blah. I was a devoted creative student. I had no double resume. I did not actually know what client service meant, nor did I care. I went to a journalism school, take advertising, learn how to write ads. It made perfect sense to me at the time. And the day came, everybody got a package, or I thought everybody got this little packet with this like satanic symbol, which was their logo at the time. And beautiful pictures of very well-groomed young men walking through drugstores in inexpensive suits. And I got one of those and paid it no heed. And so this Monday comes around and then no one would talk to me, which wasn't completely absurd because I was a creative and everyone hated me anyway because I didn't take anything seriously. But they wouldn't talk to me at all. And I didn't understand why. Why are they not talking to me? And it turns out I was on the list. 10 of us were on the list, and there was my name right in the middle of it, which made no effing sense whatsoever. So I go down the hall, out with the old days, at the end of the hall, which is where Dr. Schultz's office was. And those of you that may remember that, he had a chair much more akin to what they would have given a 4-year-old. So he sank really deeply in that thing, and his knees were always up by his face. And I walked in there and I said, and by the way, I had like a hair down to my shoulders and at least 2 drug problems that I can remember. And so I'm walking down the hall and I'm like, Dr. Schultz, what? I'm on the Proctor list. Why am I on the Proctor list? And he just looks up from this chair and he, Ken, I don't know why you're on the Proctor list. I don't know why they want to talk to you. I said, well, so-and-so is really upset. They wanted to be talked to. If I don't go, because I'm not going to be a brand manager, if I don't go, I'm going to look like an arrogant ass. And he goes, well, Ken, you got to make your own decisions. But, they don't want to talk to so-and-so. They want to talk to you. I just was lost. I was like, I don't know what to, and he goes, well, maybe you'll get yourself a trip. Maybe you'll get yourself a trip to Cincinnati, which, by the way, I was really into trips, but Cincinnati was not on my bucket list. So I look at him and I go, I just don't get it. What am I going to tell him? Well, can't look. Is it going to hurt you to talk to the nice man for 30 minutes? Bring him your book. He probably never seen one before. It'll be something to talk about. It'll be something new. So sure enough, I go in there and I brought my book, which was never referenced, but I did bring it in. And I had what was probably one of the strangest interviews that poor gentleman ever had his entire life with this long-haired freak talking about the Cincinnati Reds trading Pete Rose. And at the end of this, I think, well, yeah, that's going to be the end of it. It's a really awkward handshake. And I got called back, which at first I thought they called everybody back. No, they only called 2 of us back, which to me was a testimony to the fact that P&G doesn't really know what they're doing. And I eventually did get my trip to Cincinnati as a creative director on their business many, many, many years later. It wasn't until I was working with the faculty and teaching in subsequent summers for Dr. Schultz, I subbed him while he was in India or France or something, that I realized that the reason that Procter & Gamble put me on that list is that I had a faculty recommendation that they had called, and I found this out behind the scenes, right? They called the faculty, well, we definitely have to see, and somebody, which since the rest of them hated me, somebody had to put me on that list. So the weird and wondrous teaching alchemy, not just integrated marketing alchemy, but the teaching alchemy in Don Schultz's head was such that he actually thought that a reprehensible creative beast with a lot of blasphemy would have absolutely any reason to ever spend any time as a brand manager in Cincinnati, Ohio for Procter & Gamble. So Jim, thank you again for letting me go on and talk about something other than paper, because I didn't write any with him. But he will be missed. He was a profound and extraordinary influence on my life, even though he was a suit. And I've forgiven him for that. And even as one creative, he made me smarter. He put me, as many of my other fellow creatives that survived that, ahead of the game for when all the amazing changes went through the industry. In my career at Burnett, I was ahead of them at every step of the way. And that is completely up to him. And God love Vernon Freiberger, but he didn't have anything to do with that. That was all Don Schultz. Thanks all.
I have to say, Kent, because I've been going through a lot of Don's stuff that he had accumulated over the years, and there's much evidence of your work, and certainly the best cartoons ever made of Don.
Well, Kent, thank you very much. And